When it comes to your online shooter or your online first-person shooter, it is always interesting to see what kind of expectations there are on to the game that you are buying. And especially now in 2025, people are more adject than ever to make sure they're not buying garbage. And I have to say, for someone who is looking forward to the newest title of Battlefield 6, not so much. Well, I would be lying if that was true. I did make videos saying I'm looking forward to this game, but there are things that are coming down to be very, very disappointing for me to care about. And that comes in the campaign. Now, I must admit, this is a very self-aware assessment because I know I'm going to make a video later on talking about the goodness of the campaign, and the game came out today. This video should have came out a long time ago, but my schedules has never worked, so it came out today. There's a lot of hypocrisy what I'll say in this video and the next one, but I also don't care because I just want to make my opinions clear. So, for someone who is looking forward to the Battlefield game, which has been a fan of the Battlefield franchise for long enough, for someone that was already into the Battlefield franchise and who's already interested in that kind of version of the game, I am definitely not the Call of Duty guy because I just never found that version of gameplay enjoyable, except for maybe the DMZ Warzone. Now, for someone who has been more into the campaign kind of stuff, I was getting a bit concerned about how good this campaign was going to be or how good this game might show up to be. But we had the teaser trailer to talk about the alliance of NATO and this private military corporation coming into the flame, which will align global powers versus private corporation. Good start. And all the news features and the main trailer comes out, seeing how far this private corporation is going and how much this world has changed, tying amongst different aspects of what has happened with NATO falling apart and all these other things that's going on. And then we get the beta. The beta is really good. Battlefield 6, I will say it now, will be online perfect. The good thing about the online campaign, the online stuff, is that's going to be the selling market point. It has been so clear by the marketing of EA and DICE to tell you this is going to be a solid military shooter. And I give them full-on credit to that, even mocking the live-action things that Call of Duty did, because this is their competition. But we don't need Battlefield to become Call of Duty. We do not need that, and I already see the worries in that already. That'll come at the end. So, we go into that, we show a bit of the campaign, not too much. We show you a ton of online where it is the selling point, and then we finally get here, we get to play a little bit of the campaign. This is where things get worried. So people started playing the online campaign where they were able to play 3 of the 9 missions. Now, I'm going to say it just now, Battlefield has never been strong with its campaigns. I admit that. The last good thing they made was probably Bad Company. That was probably the most solid thing they made in a campaign. But I never hear anything about the multiplayer, which is odd. That's probably how good it was. And last time I played a proper good campaign, which came from DICE EA's Battlefield series, was the one in Battlefield 5 with the Germans. And the rest of that whole story thing was BS. Battlefield 1's on single player campaign modes were good, but they weren't brilliant. They were you yourself go into this big open space little sandbox and kill a bunch of bad guys, and then the next cutscene cuts over. Not exactly interesting to do. Battlefield 5 screwed up with the history so bad I haven't even bothered playing the rest of it unless it was the German bit, and that German story was actually really good. It's always funny when you get to play bad guys. They can actually create stories. And then you have your original games, 3 and 4, where this game seems to be attached to. 2042, that doesn't even have a campaign, so fuck that idea. And then we get to Battlefield 6. Now, great, what we got to have to do here. We're only going to be getting 9 missions, people. Now, I have an issue with having just 9 missions. And I don't know whether to say it's worse with the kind of content that we have in this game, or it's worse that we have just the 9 missions. I am aware in Battlefield 1, the one I said I liked, there was almost just about 9 missions, including the start log, the campaigns for different characters and so on. But to be fair, they're not really a lot. And there's some other games there has been a campaign where there has been a shit ton more of the deal. You know, more stories, more missions, less stories, less missions. I remembered playing Call of Duty and I was like, I'm annoyed I didn't even get to episode 10 of the series. Because I was like, this is World War II and you're letting me do fuck all basically. And I'm like, you're doing the same here. Because what I wanted from Battlefield 6 is to show a little bit more. Apparently we got the guy who created the Halo franchise, for fuck's sake, and the story for that, and you're like, this is the story that we're getting? And what I should really explain is, what kind of story have we got? Because we got a story of a private armed militia supported by former NATO countries. That's something significant if you cared about that subject. Going against the probably United States Army or NATO or whatever's left of it. And I always said there's always been a fascination that's been put into films a lot and games about private militias versus national armies. Can the national army be as good as a private militia? Can someone pay their way to get better security than your own soldiers can ever do? But there's never really any time in a game, at least, that can actually prove that to be the case. There are some massive incompetent people who run these corporations, but I think the best one we ever saw, I'm going to show it here, is Advanced Warfare, where we actually saw an absolutely competent force that was just taken down by silly things, mainly their creator, Jonathan Irons. But I have to say, this game was actually the best campaign I've ever seen, where you had the Atlas Corporation that was actually doing the jobs of private countries, like small countries to big countries, and doing the security jobs for them. Even Jonathan Irons himself, the leader of the Atlas Corporation, knew this. And this is how he was able to take over the world and go to the UN and get a seat at the UN and say, I want to be boss now. And then, you know, the game ends and then we move on. And what I thought we could get from Battlefield 6 was something close to that. But I think we're just going to have to deal with basic plot. Basic, they're bad guys, we're good guys, moving on. Maybe something with CIA and that's it. And I'm like, fuck me, we could doing a lot better than this. But put that kind of aspect into 9 missions, when we have actually been seen 3 of the 9 missions already, and they're quite vague of what these kind of missions are. And I should really explain, because the missions that we were shown by different content creators that were able to go and play this game was 3 very different ways the campaign can go. And I'm just like, wow, this could go whatever way it could go, and it's not good at all. And like I say, maybe I'll play again today, this week, next week, or see a video of it and be like, oh my god, I'm so fucking long. But right now, from this, looks like the weakest aspect of the actual game itself. So, let's talk about the 3 missions that we were able to see. So, Operation Gladius, this was episode 3, or mission 3. This, for anyone who didn't know, was basically just a sitting on track mission. You're supposed to be going into Gibraltar because Pax Armata took over Gibraltar. Thanks, Britain, you've stayed with America, you good old dog. Idiot. And you are going to be playing as the US Marines, obviously, going into Gibraltar, taking Gibraltar back from Pax Armata, and then that's it. But what seems to be annoying about the mission is, like, they sit on a track. It's you sitting on the track, gunning whatever it is. You're not really in the battle. You're just, like, going along, bang, 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 anything you got, and then you got the tank, and then you're like, oh yeah, we shoot this thing, and you shoot a few people in this close quarter, tropical looking space, and then mission's over because the guy you're hunting down left like 4 hours ago. Fucking pointless. I get it for a plot point, but fuck me. Why? Why do you make me sit on a tank instead of me being actually D-Daying this beach? This could have been your D-Day moment, and you fucked it up. There, the next one. No Sleep. I need to talk about the quality of the gameplay as well. Because remember in Call of Duty Modern Warfare where you used to go Silent House, or go and do these operations where you used to be in black stealth, you know, raiding houses and everything would be nice and quiet, and you know, take things out nice and stealthily, think about it and move on. Now compare that to this game.
Hey, you hear that?
Got it. Watch that wall. Enemy through the wall. Reloading.
Yeah, not so useful. And especially when the AI is not being very useful. Let's show that.
This isn't a one-time thing. It happened multiple times throughout my playtest. Oh, fuck. Pick me up, guys.
Need patching up.
What the Lopez!
I'm hit. Need a medic.
Lopez! Get the fuck back here!
Need a medic.
Lopez! I'm right here! What are you guys looking at?
I'm hit.
Lopez!
Need a medic.
Pick me the fuck up!
I'm down.
What the
Patch me up. I know it
Oh.
hurt. Keep going.
Who
Patching
picked
up
me
my
up?
6.
Jesus Christ, that's annoying. What are you guys looking at? There are guys through here? They're just sitting there waiting. Yeah. They're just looking at the enemies through the fucking walls. That's so weird.
Yeah, not helpful. No Sleep seems to be the more of the interesting one of the bunch, where you actually go into Manhattan or New York to try and stop a Pax Armata attack, literally almost a month after the Gibraltar thing. So from where they wording the trailers and everything, Pax Armata themselves has actually been quite slow in making these attacks happen, unless there's some sort of reason for it, but I wouldn't if it was me that was in charge trying to destroy the bloody West. That wouldn't be my plan, but fuck it. I don't know what Pax wants to do. So, the main plot is, you go in to take down this thing of Pax incels or wherever they are in the Brooklyn Heights. Of course, they're hiding in Brooklyn. And then you go on, eventually end up underground to destroy the train, or tram, or train, whatever the fuck it is underneath. And then you've actually got to blow up the bridge. So you, not Pax, is destroying the Brooklyn Bridge to stop the train from getting a signal from hacking your destroyer from attacking the UN building. Fuck. It's like, and the one strike damage, and then the level comes after that. It's just like the design. Why? It's so annoying that you make design levels this awkward. It's like, oh great, did you fuck this up anymore? I didn't even talk about the car chase. We're not even going into that. And it's like, oh come on, this just feels lazy. And all the IGN people were like, oh my god, this was amazing. I'm like, yeah, you really need your money, don't you, IGN? Christ. Let's talk about Operation Ember Strike. They're probably the one that's closest to a Battlefield formula from Battlefield 1 of all games. And I've always thought it was like a good Battlefield game missions, big mission, like a big space, then goes into one little bit. But fuck knows. It's like, this one feels so lazy of the bunch, where I've seen people, oh, you have multiple options to take out these SAM sites before you go to the dam and take down more SAM sites and do something else, Operation Ember Strike. I'm like, okay, fine, we're taking down a dam. Not fucking new to the game. I have to say, why does it have to be like this? Because all this mission has to be done is like, send the drone, done, and everything's, you know, dropping grenades, and then everyone's dead. And then there's this.
Guiding rockets with the Switchblade system against waves of enemies. Honestly, this part was awesome. I'll take more Switchblade missions, please. Firing missiles from a first-person perspective to take down helicopters and tanks was incredibly satisfying, and it honestly makes me want a minigame of just that mechanic.
Yeah, I'm making you sit through the whole thing. Let's watch some more.
I'll just play it.
Sniper! Motherfucker!
Target down!
Lopez! Lopez! Sniper is down!
Hey, Lo. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We have our objective to complete. Let's move!
And that's what it felt like. And I know the end of Operation Ember Strike has a good scene with the dam getting destroyed and so on, so on. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But, you could be doing better, DICE, EA. And maybe your new bosses could do a lot better. So hopefully, this game is not as bad as I say it is. And I'd like to thank you, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.